motherfucker. Run that shit, motherfucker.
All right, what's good? What's good, my people? What's poppin'? All right, cool. Stoked to have you guys here. Definitely seeing the holidays. The holiday numbers are definitely apparent here. ¿Qué tal? What's good, guys? Jose, Michael, we got Gio, the Hills. Yo, let your people know we're live. Obviously, free session. I'm gonna go off here. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm about to go off, especially because I just did this session in Spanish, so I have a bit more clarity on what I wanted to go over. And I also had a revelation during this session, which was epic. So I know my lighting is not quite the best right now. I'm actually not sure what's going on with this guy right here. Why aren't you working? Oh, that's definitely true. So figure that out later. But anyways, yeah, guys, super stoked to be here with all of you. And I wanted to go over really what to expect for 2025, what to expect moving on here, and across the board with different markets. So not just crypto, not just indices, but like metals, etc. Just overall, like what can the next quarter bring us? What could maybe all of 2025 have in store for us? So I wanted to do all of that. And I'm not going to start with DXY, but I am going to go over a couple other things here. And so a little bit of spoilers here. Actually, this is a misdirect, so I'm actually not going to go over Pepe too much, but it has a slight, it has to do with something that I'm going to go over today. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You know, where would you like for me to start? Because I am going to go over, this is going to be a bit more focused on kind of the mid to long term perspective that I have across the board with markets. So where would you like to begin? We can start with crypto, indices, metals, majors, dollar in general, the trading industry as a whole. Whatever you guys want, I'm down for. I mean, I think I'm gonna just kick things off with crypto. That's what I just did. Indices, all right, y'all decided. I will kick this off with indices first. Okay, so all right, so we'll go from top down. Obviously, guys, it's been a historical year with everything. S&P, indices, crypto, everything has just been absolutely on fire. Metals finally really broke out. And as we're looking through all of this and as everything is moving just along, just really pushing along, I do want you guys to understand it always feels like, okay, when is this going to finally stop? Like, when is the market going to drop? When is this going to stop pumping? And, you know, looking at US 30, looking at NAS, which had a huge year, S&P, again, another incredible year. I don't think we're there. I don't think we're at the end of this push. I think we got quite a bit to go still, actually. And the way that we responded to the levels that we've seen the last couple of days actually really confirmed it for me. So take a look, guys. Clearly, we had elections Tuesday and Super Tuesday, and that led to explosive movement with the stock market, explosive movement with the crypto market. That basically set off, it set off to create all-time highs. So elections day led to all-time highs on Bitcoin and then some, right? That kind of propelled the market beyond 100K for Bitcoin, and alts started to push too. Now, alts haven't quite hit their all-time highs yet, but we're getting there. Now, here's the difference though, and here's what I thought was interesting. So we saw alts, we saw indices go boom, right? This was very explosive movement. And this led to, November, I think it was November 11th, right? We peak up here. We start seeing that reversal. It looks like we're about to hit and rebalance everything and go crazy, but the market stops right here. There's a pesky little order block right here. Actually, there's a little dip before it ran again. So it looks like this was just enough to then cause that shift in momentum once again in the market. Now, here's what I have to say about that though. When we had this happen and we didn't rebalance, we didn't get back to elections, I was pretty suspicious. I would say I was pretty suspicious. And again, guys, throughout this, you guys feel free to drop your commentary, any questions, comments, anything you want more perspective on. Just go ahead and share. Always down to see what you guys have in mind. But so anyways, moving on from there. What we do want to see here is I noticed, we made another round of highs. We traded up here for some time, and then the market crashed, right? The market comes crashing down, and we see it get below this low, rebalance, and then by the end of the week, we end up closing back in this area. We end up gaining quite a bit of momentum back, and going into Christmas, typical, going into Christmas, and Friday we end up closing over here as well. So that weekly candle, if we're looking at the weekly, we can kind of see like we did lose quite a bit of momentum, and then we actually maintained structure. Price really just is not trading below here for too long. So it keeps, every time it gets back here, it keeps losing momentum. So I want you guys to keep in mind what's happened here. So we came back down to find, again, market efficiency, and then the market started to go up again. Now, similar situation. Every time we get down to these levels, the market just aggressively leaves from here. And so what do we see happen? We see US 30, forget, this is a touchscreen here. This is the backup computer. So we got the backup computers, honestly, kind of sick. So we see this come back and also rebalance this Friday's price action. So today or yesterday, well, no, today, but yesterday's trading day comes all the way down to here. It mitigates this sell-off, and then we see an aggressive push up again. So indices, in my opinion, look like they kind of took care of business already. We got back to elections day, price action, all the madness, all the craziness has been taken care of. So I don't really view this drop as a lower low. I don't see it as a break structure. I think this was more of a imbalance fill than it is a shift in momentum. And that's just because of really the lack of trading time we're seeing here. Like, I look at this and I am not convinced that the market wants price below 42,500 very much. We get here, we just look to push up over and over and over again. I think the market is getting below 42,500 to attract sellers into the market, to liquidate buyers. And it's kind of happening over and over and over again. So I do think indices are primed to pump again. I think US 30 will, I think US 30 will go beyond 45. I think we'll probably push towards 46 going into the first, probably going into the first quarter, ending the first quarter all the way up there. But what does this have to do now? Also, NAS did similar movement. NAS pulled all the way down because NASDAQ kind of rebalanced everything pretty quickly. So NASDAQ, came into into some of this price action, and then we've just been trading NASDAQ. Really, it's been much more efficient, while S&P has been kind of somewhere in between. So S&P did drop again into that Wednesday price action. It looks pretty healthy. So overall, it looks like the markets have been rebalanced from those election moments. So I think now that kind of gives a green light for the entire indice market to just move on, carry on. Efficient, price isn't really trading down there for too long, so it can just continue its path. So now that we understand that, and obviously the stock market is way bigger than the crypto market, one stock alone is the entire crypto market. So obviously there's levels to the game. But with that being said, indice markets are now efficient. Took care of elections price action. What does that mean? And I want you guys to also think about this. And this is something that was an eye-opening experience for me. During this COVID pandemic drop-off in markets, where markets came all the way back to mitigate, again, funny enough, Trump election prices. But when we got that was the low. This came back to Trump being elected and then mitigated and ran. We actually literally are seeing that. We just saw that happen like now. Interesting. Just interesting synchronicities. But that wasn't what the point. The point was we eventually see the market drop back to these areas where things started to fall off. The market needed to rebalance. And this happens over here. September, October, November of 2022. We see that happen with Dow Jones. We see NASDAQ also come back into play in S&P. But something happens here because we do see a shift and a massive shift in the entire financial markets because we have the change in definition of recessions. We have so much more money being printed. So these markets, with the combination of inflation, they're not going to get as rebalanced, as mitigated as you would expect. More times comes into the market, the more the money supply and inflation is going to influence this. So I always consider now the entire financial market when also looking at Bitcoin, when also looking at crypto in general. So if you look at, some of the biggest stocks in the world, they had these huge sell-offs, and then the market came back to mitigate those things. So, for example, you could just name it. You can name any sort of stock, and you kind of saw that happen. So, like, for example, we'll look at Meta. Meta, huge stock. We see the COVID drop, which actually wasn't very crazy. And then, again, Q4 2022, the market actually goes below this and then absolutely goes insane. Right? We've seen Meta's value or stock price go up 550%. So like what is that? 6.5x in, 2 years. So absurd. Just if you just put money here, it was nuts. So cool. The market again rebalanced, actually repriced, and then went crazy. You can look at a variety of different stocks, whatever, you just name it. And you'll kind of see like the market around Q4 2022 either mitigates or rebalances and then just absolutely goes on a rampage. And that's what I didn't account for. So I was so focused on Bitcoin, that I kind of missed the fact that the entire stock market had already rebalanced price action. So Bitcoin ends up playing into previous structure, rebalancing, not really mitigating, but rebalancing this price and then just ripping. And it honestly did give us a reentry, thank God, because it did show us what was possible and it showed us accumulation right here in Q1 of 2023 when it came back to play off of this zone right here. So let's say we didn't catch the drop, this was a that green light for me. And then playing it in here, more dollar cost averaging. So this big drop though that we just saw right here, this comes in November 2022 and rebalances Bitcoin at this same time. This kind of movement here was also what mitigated, rebalanced a whole bunch of things in the stock market, or around these times, we started seeing more of the same thing. And so why am I saying this? Well, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin right now, what is it doing? So what is happening right now? Well, remember, elections created absolute chaos for Bitcoin. Election day hits and we go and literally just go crazy. Go absolutely nuts. Like this is that Super Tuesday, because this is just the Asian session that clears all-time highs. So it didn't actually happen on Wednesday, it happened Tuesday, but this is the entire candle. So we go and we crack all-time highs this day. The market, chills out for a few days and then just keeps going. And then, we are where we are. So where am I getting at? Bitcoin didn't come back to rebalance anything here, right? After that first week, it just didn't at all. We got to basically like 89,000, maybe 90,000. And then we consolidated, and then we just kind of been chopping up, and we created an entirely new structure. So we're in a different structure as a whole now. Okay. So the reason that I went heavy on my buys literally today is because the stock market rebalanced completely and is ready to rip again. And if indices, the stock market rebalances those elections price actions and Bitcoin is just holding a lot better, I feel convicted in my positions on portfolio. Leverage, I wouldn't over leverage or anything, but if you're trading perps, perpetuals, if you're trading futures, whatever, would I go crazy with perpetuals right now? I mean, I wouldn't do anything out of the normal, but I do think we could be hitting a pretty good opportunity right now. So yeah, so I went heavy today with liquidity that I wanted to, that I was kind of waiting for as, we were chopping up here for the last month or so. So went in again and into a particular coin. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys want me to share with you the coin that I have that I see the biggest, like it's a pretty low risk in my opinion, and then I see upside easy 20x, if not more. So again, this isn't a tiny coin. Like whatever we do here won't really influence any of this at all, to be honest. But I do generally, I don't know how, it's like not hitting yet. Like it hasn't popped off crazy yet, but I'm grateful it hasn't, because I do believe you guys are about to see like the Shiba of the run. And it's like so obvious, it's actually hilarious. So I'm going to show you guys. Again, I went ham today, and I'm going to keep buying more of this. But I'm going to show you guys, and it's not this coin. I'll get to virtuals a little bit later. Okay, so guys, if you talk to your grandma, if you talk to an older aunt, you talk to, let's say you're on just out there in public, there's someone just wants to strike up a conversation with you, someone over the age of 40, 50, 60, what crypto do they know? When people think of crypto, what's the first crypto that they think about? This is a very, this is not a trick question or anything. This is like extremely easy. So they think about Bitcoin, right? Good old BTC, good old Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently sitting at a $1.8 trillion market cap. So, all right, it's got quite the piece of the pie here. Now, if you think about the biggest meme coin, you think about Doge. right? Doge. Now, Doge is on Binance Chain. And I want to show you guys something. So Bitcoin, obviously, this is where we're seeing, industry leaders put money. We're seeing ETFs on Bitcoin. You're seeing, for example, between BlackRock and MicroStrategy, they literally own, I think, over 1 million Bitcoin now. I think it's like almost 5% of the total supply, which is actually insane. So, okay, a lot of money in Bitcoin. If you're a conservative investor who's been trading or investing in the S&P for 10, 20, 30 years, if they're feeling a little risky, where do they go? They go to Bitcoin. So, cool. Now, here's the thing. I started to realize every chain has its own meme coin. Now, why are meme coins a thing? Right? Meme coins are basically, it's a fun way of investing. It's really easy, doesn't require much thinking, and it's a cultural thing. We've come to that understanding, right? This is what it is. People enjoy something that they can relate to. And a lot of people, they go, oh, this thing's running, let's run it up. And there's some sort of, there's a face to it. There's some sort of avatar. There's some sort of quote unquote personality to it. So if you think about it, I want you guys to think about something here. You have Doge. This is the leader of the meme coin space. And again, I'm not going to give you guys some crazy meme coin right now. That's not my point. That's not what I'm here to do. I want to show you something really different. So from a different perspective. So Doge on Binance. Cool. ETH has its meme coin. Pepe. Sick. Bonk is the lead meme coin on Solana. Pengu just was a huge, massive airdrop that airdropped on the Solana chain, but it's more of a representation of NFTs and stuff. All right, cool. This is a really interesting one. This is an AI agent meme. It's a whole other rabbit hole that I don't have time to today, but AI agents, go look that up, go in that rabbit hole. You'll thank me later. Trust me. But I'm not here to talk about that. Brett, this is the leading meme coin on Base. Okay. You have, let's see. So we have the leading meme coins on the biggest chains. You have Binance, you have Solana, you have Base Chain. We don't really have a meme coin yet that's really taking on for XRP or anything. And there's really not, and I want to show you guys something here. So if you think about the biggest coins, right, the biggest coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Binance, Sol, you have Doge, and then Cardano. So Cardano, XRP, and wait a minute, Bitcoin? What represents Bitcoin's meme space? And this is my play for you guys. Dog on Bitcoin. This is the leading meme coin for Bitcoin. And guys, this is almost 100 times smaller than Doge. 100 times smaller, almost 100 times smaller than Doge. Probably more closer to like 80 times smaller than Doge. Now remember, Bitcoin is how much bigger than Binance? Bitcoin is almost 20 times, it's 18 times bigger than Binance. Okay. Now, if you are up fat on Bitcoin and you want to cycle, take out some of your profits, put it into something, where would you do that? Think about that. You go, oh man, but you don't want to swap, right? Bitcoin, I already have Bitcoin. I don't want to swap to, ETH or Sol. Hold on, let me just put some of this into this meme coin. Now, again, this is 569 market cap. This is the leader of Bitcoin. Again, for reference, Bitcoin is currently 4.5 times bigger than Ethereum. So 4.5 times bigger than Ethereum. Right now, Pepe is at 7.5 billion market cap. So it's about 15 times bigger. So Pepe is 15 times bigger than Dog. But Bitcoin is 4.5 times bigger than ETH. So in my opinion, this is at least 60 times undervalued. At least. If we were to just put them all next to each other, right? If this is Pepe, this is ETH's meme coin, and it's at 7.5 billion market cap. Cool. If ETH is 4.5 times smaller than Bitcoin, then you can imagine Bitcoin's leading meme should be about 4.5 times bigger, which would put this at around we'll say over 30 billion market cap. So in my opinion, Dog could have been around a 30 billion market cap if, again, this would have launched at the same time, attention's there at the same time, etc. Again, also you have to think about this is not on any main exchange. This isn't on Coinbase. This isn't on Binance yet. This isn't on any of the big exchanges. It's not on Kraken yet. It's not on Gemini. It's not on any of the big ones. So, of course, it's a little bit more difficult to get. But also, if it's hard for everyone to get, for the masses to get to, then you're getting to it before the majority. So now think about this, because all we're doing is, this is just a game of speculation. That's investing. Investing is just us speculating, us thinking, here's where it could go. And what does everyone else think? Do other people also think this could keep going higher? Do other people also think that the price could go higher? Right now, I think there is so little attention on this, when later there will be so much attention on this. Because now I want you to think about this. Imagine a world where this meme coin is available on Coinbase. Okay, so just think about that. The meme coin's available on Coinbase. Okay, Dog available on Coinbase. And when most people think about buying Bitcoin as like their first crypto, it's the easiest one to get. It's the one that everybody knows. There's the least amount of resistance to it. And then you go, well, let's get some Bitcoin. And then, you know what? I want some other crypto too. Oh, let's get the Bitcoin meme coin too. That to me seems like such a common thought process for anyone, just any random person. Now, what do you guys think? Because I genuinely want to understand and think, do you see this in a similar way that I see this? Or do you see something else? Because I'm also not opposed. I'm totally for opposing ideas. But if this is available on major exchanges, and we already know Bitcoin is getting bought aggressively. Kurt's been talking about this too. Oh, amazing. So yeah, I've been buying this for probably the last, I'd say, month or so, maybe 6 weeks or so. And the more I've looked at this, the more I've thought about it from different angles. And I would love to know, Seth or the Hills, whoever's on, what he's added, what other perspectives he has on this. And, there's other things like, what kind of money would then get into this? Would we also see holdings from major players? Because the thing is, on Bitcoin's blockchain, you generally have the whales, you have the big fish. So Pierre just asked, he's not a big meme guy. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely leaving a lot on the table, but because in my opinion, It's all about capturing attention. That's all investing is, right? Investing is, okay, where's attention going to go? And because in my opinion, price doesn't reflect value. Price reflects our opinion, right? That's it. Price and value, different things. Right now, I think this is extremely undervalued and underpriced. So there's moments like AI where like things are just going crazy, or like gaming in 2021, where it's like for no reason these companies, these cryptos were worth 10, multiple billions that were doing nothing. So, but in this example, I just see big money being able to flow in here, and then I also see the retail just having a lot more confidence behind a Bitcoin blockchain coin in general, just in general. And so, yeah, I think this has an enormous amount of room. And I would not be surprised if we see an absolute parabolic jump in this. These are the kind of things that I wait for. Like, I have like one meme basically of every chain, like the main player. And then in Sol, I have a couple. But with Bitcoin, I think this is the one that is a very low risk. Like, I mean, this is still like almost 600 million market cap. So it's not like it's a tiny coin, but this thing could definitely pop. So anyways, guys, from, and you guys can see kind of the history, this bad boy here, going public in April. And honestly, it's not even up that much since it was launched. It dipped under here, which, obviously wish we could have seen these numbers. Wasn't really on my radar. I had seen it, but I hadn't really given it too much attention. And then now we're kind of, again, rebalancing into those post-elections prices, highs that we've seen before. So just looking at this, I think that we saw it peak in October around the price that we're at right now. So that's why I like buys on this. And I think conservatively, you see a 10x, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see anywhere from 20 to 60x in the next. I think that sounds insane to say, but that's how I see it. In the next 6 months to a year. So this is my call, just for myself. Like, obviously, you guys do your research, etc. Now, how could you do something? So with this, I bought Bitcoin, and then I used Xverse to swap into Doug. So there's a wallet you can get. There's no affiliate links or anything like that here, but this is just what I did. So I swapped from Bitcoin and then into this. And so this Xverse is a wallet you can get on I think you can get on here. Maybe it's just an app on your phone. I have it on my phone. But yeah, so you can add an extension. You can have it on desktop. I would probably do it on desktop. I think it's safer. I just haven't had my computer on me. But yeah, so that's my perspective, guys. With this in particular, I see this being extremely undervalued. So there's one thing that I wanted to share with you guys. And then from here, honestly, the other thing that I want you guys to pay attention to and go research yourself, I'm not going to go into a rabbit hole on that right now, but is AI agents. Finally went in there, and I don't think this is a fad. I actually think it's going to go crazy. So AI agents, look it up. It's big time. And there's even an ecosystem like Virtuals here is a protocol that's basically kind of becoming, or their goal is to be the marketplace for AI agents. And the way you can think about AI agents is basically like, imagine an AI that has a specific mission, and that's what it's there to do. So like there's certain Twitter accounts that are fully operational through an AI. So an AI runs the account and it has a purpose. Some of them, their purpose is to, have 100,000 followers. So they create their own posts, they create their own memes, they reply on their own, and everything they do is with the goal of, let's say, hitting 100,000 followers. Now, when an AI agent is empowered with a wallet and tokens, all of a sudden now it could hire, it could invest to complete that mission in whichever way it sees fit. And that's actually something that ended up happening where this AI agent called Truth of Terminal, they were gifted 50,000 in Bitcoin by a typical billionaire. Here's 50K, whatever. And this AI agent created a token called Goatius Maximus, which then went on a crazy run. And that AI agent is now a multimillionaire. Yeah. So there's AIs have become millionaires before most people. And so these AI agents here, and this is a place where you can build your own, you can invest into some of these. And so some of these AI agents, like they're literally just doing their own thing. Like they just have different purposes, they have different goals. And you guys can just go into your rabbit hole here. I want you guys to check this out. Like Luna here is one that, what does she do? She has like, I think it has like a couple 100K followers on TikTok. And that was before it was even, it tokenized itself. So imagine if you discovered whatever. Imagine you discovered the next big artist, but you could invest into it. And so as it got bigger, so did your portion of it. That's kind of the thing here. So for example, this AIXBT is actually a Twitter account, and it gets a crazy amount of engagement. So same thing, like you could invest in like the future of these AI agents, assuming that you believe in that they're going to do something useful or go up in value. So anyways, you guys can go into this rabbit hole. I think there's going to be a massive, massive market for this, especially if, think about this, people already invest in memes, but what if your meme was basically alive? And it can respond at all times and create its own content and have basically its own personality. So interesting space we're living in. But yeah, go into that rabbit hole, guys. Check that out. For the last 15 minutes of this, what I want to do is, some of you guys are like, what is this dude talking about? For the last 15 minutes, I want to also walk you guys through what I see metals doing as well for 2025. And I think all markets in general are going to keep basically moving on up. I think we're going to keep seeing these pump and work their way higher and higher and higher. I think we've rebalanced overall with metals, and we're kind of just finding that sweet spot, like how far is this thing going to go down until it starts to really rip. So it looks like we may have already rebalanced with gold. I am waiting for these smaller time frames to really, take my next position and let this thing run. I wanted to buy in here, just missed, so maybe we dip down here again soon and work our way higher. But overall, guys, if you look at the metals markets, it does look to me like we've basically taken care of the imbalances from the past. We saw gold come back to the September imbalance during November, so when everything started to work its way down, and then we instantly came back up. And so we've been just chopping up. Again, we saw this dump, takes care of this imbalance here. Maybe we get down lower. There's a possibility. But also the reason I don't know if we are going to go even lower is because it's going to be based on whatever silver is looking to do here. Because silver, on the other hand, has worked its way down, has created equal lows. So I want to know if silver is going to work its way a bit further down into the September price action. I feel like it should. And so the next thing I'm keeping in mind is when silver clears these lows. So let me check this out. When silver clears these lows, yeah, gold missed the entry by 2 ticks. I know, it's disappointing, but I don't think it's over. I think we're going to go back to those areas. Silver should clear these lows. And based off of when silver is taking care of these retail buys, this liquidity, I want to know and see kind of, okay, where's gold at during those moments? So that might be what takes us down into this area. Maybe have a wider stop, but yeah, I'm keeping that in mind. I do think, I mean, if you guys, look at seasonality, metals markets tend to go pretty bullish end of quarter four and then quarter one of most years. So yeah, these are the things that I would keep in mind. So basically, guys, to give you guys a recap, overall, yeah, I think we just continue ripping. I think the markets just continue to go on a rampage, and I think we'll just respond accordingly. To be honest, um, I do think quarter one and maybe part of quarter two could be pretty bullish, but definitely quarter one. I think overall, these markets, as much as crazy as they've been going, especially gold, as crazy as these markets have been ripping 2024, and it kind of just feels like, when is this going to stop? Like, this has to stop eventually, right? But there's kind of no signs that it really needs to yet. And so that's what I have in mind for crypto and Bitcoin in general, because indices and stock market rebalance that election's price action, while crypto is trading within just a way higher structure. This is kind of why I think we're going to keep going higher. And transparently, this is like my implementation from what happened in 2022, where quarter four 2022, stock market rebalanced massive imbalances from COVID and then went off, and that was the low. With us rebalancing elections with the stock market and not the crypto market, I don't think crypto is going to drop down to there. So that's what I'm banking on. I'm investing assuming that the entire market is rebalanced and ready to rip again. And if the market goes down some more, that's not really a big deal for me. I'm okay with being wrong and then just, dollar cost averaging at these lower prices. And considering that Bitcoin dominance is barely getting to a point where alts start going into alts, and considering that alts have not seen any all-time highs this season yet, I feel pretty confident about where the market can go. If you look at altcoins definitely, the total market cap came down here a little over 3 trillion and has responded really nicely. If you look at altcoins, these are all the coins outside the top 10. We had a very big drop into November price action. And then, look at all of this liquidity on altcoins. You're telling me we're not going to rip and absolutely obliterate all of this liquidity here? We haven't seen altcoins make an all-time high for this season. So I think we did mitigate some of this from December 2021. But the all-time highs from 2018 to the all-time highs of November 2021, the market from all-time high to all-time high did I think almost a 7x, a little over a 6x. And so even if we see the market do, a 3x for alts, that would still put the market at over 1.5 billion market cap, when right now we're at 330. So we got a long way to go, in my opinion. I think we go, and 1.5 billion market cap in altcoins and outside of the top 10, I feel like that's a very doable thing. So that's my take, guys, on the crypto in general. Indice markets, I think we still have quite a bit of a push to go as well. So yeah, I see us moving forward pretty bullish. And what I want to do now is I'm going to get back here into the chat, see what you guys, any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, and we'll go from there. So cool. Awesome. So I know we focused a lot on Bitcoin and crypto and just the markets in general, a bit more of a swing, position and portfolio type of perspective. But at the end of the day, doing this, and look at this. This is what I think a lot of people are going to be really concerned about is this monthly candle. Oh, this monthly candle looks lethal. If you look at that Bitcoin monthly candle, inverted hammer, that's the technically the candlestick pattern. Yeah. So this here, actually, you can even argue this is a dragonfly, inverted dragonfly pattern. I don't know how I remember these from 2016, 2017. But here's what I have to say about these patterns. I don't give a fuck about these patterns. It's just a candlestick pattern. You just change the perspective and you change how this candle looks, right? Look at the 3 month. All right, here's the 3 month candle. Oh, suddenly that's a huge bullish candle. You look at the weekly. Now this kind of changes what it looks like. So I don't trade patterns. I trade liquidity, right? I'm looking at where's the money at, where's the entire market at, what's going on there. So for me, as and again, I'm looking to take myself out of wanting a extremely bullish. I don't care for this to be bullish right now. I don't need it to be bullish right now. I'm okay if it's not. I can just get more. So that's cool with me. This is either the mindset right now, I think is oh, this could be distribution. Whereas looking at indices are not giving me that same type of energy. Indices to me look way more like they could be that they're accumulating. So looking at this, I'm totally down for another rip to the upside because patterns, all they do is they're just showing you one perspective. Where do they open, they close, and where it's been. But the market doesn't move because of patterns. The market moves because of money. The market moves because of liquidity. It's seeking and it's constantly looking to rebalance. And then the orchestrators of these markets, they need money to be able to take their positions. So that's my focus when I'm looking at this. So we shall see. We shall see. A lot of imbalance. Looks like it could drop. But if me leaning on the stock market to give us further context on if this is going to be a reaccumulation, on whether this was the liquidity sweep that we needed for this thing to rip again, or whether it's just going to dump, we shall see. But again, since I'm not over invested, since I'm not over leveraged, I'm really pretty detached to begin with. So let's see, guys. You guys will see if I was right or if I was wrong. My thoughts on Nike and Telus. I don't know Telus stock. Nike's at a good place. I've talked about Nike on our live streams, like the members live streams here. And I do think that we got a very clean mitigation of these COVID levels. This played off of that last point of supply super nicely. So yeah, do I think Nike stock is a good play? I would be surprised if it wasn't. I think this will see a nice pump. If you're someone that dollar cost average or maybe your options, I think you got an easy 50% growth play, even from where it's at right now. So obviously, guys, you have to make a decision on how and when and where you invest. Unless you got unlimited money, put them everywhere. But otherwise, you do have to narrow things down. But yeah, I'm definitely down for. I like where Nike's at, and I think you could see probably some pretty good plays from even where it's at right now. I don't think we've seen the big pump, and that might happen literally tomorrow. Maybe that's the reversal that we get. Earnings reports. When are the earnings reports for? It's in 80 days, so I think earnings reports must have been recent. Anyways, yeah. So guys, good stuff, good chat. Anything else you guys need from me? Feel free to reach out. I contemplated dropping the free community today. It's not quite ready, and I was gonna see if you guys wanted to be on basically like the wait list before it drops. But instead, I'm just gonna have you guys continue to wait some more. And you guys will get a sneak preview of that here in January. So much love, guys. I know it's the holidays. You guys are doing whatever else that you could be doing. So take some time, reflect on your year, see how things went, see what you can do different. If you're going to create goals for yourself, then I saw, I think Hermosi post this, and it was like, if you're ever, next to every goal that you want to make, also write down what you want to eliminate. So if you want to accomplish something, well, what are you going to get rid of? What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to eliminate in order to accomplish that? And I love that idea. So could be a habit, could be a perspective, it could be a lot of things. It could be people. So keep that in mind. And if I don't see you guys tomorrow, then Happy New Year's. I know some of you will be live in the morning for our last New York session of the year. So I'll see you guys there. Much love, guys.